The measuring method for a fish silhouette wedding dress. Hello! Greetings from the Pollardi Group of companies. In this video, we would like to show you our measuring method. This technique was developed by a team of our specialists based on many years of experience. This video will be useful and informative for both experienced tailors and fashion stylists who are tasked with measurements taken from the client to make a dress with a flawless fit. So, let's start. To take the measurements, you will need a printed order form, a pencil or a pen, a measuring tape, rubber bands, pins, scissors and a ruler. We advise you to take the measurements from the client when his or her body in its natural position and not to change the position until the end of the process. To take the measurements more precisely, we recommend that the client wore tight-fitting clothes. It is necessary to fit the rubber bands tightly on the client's body. One part of the rubber bands is attached horizontally, repeating the following sizes: chest, under the chest, waist, hips and ankles, hips and thighs under the buttocks. The other part of the rubber bands is fixed strictly vertically. The first in the center of the body in front, downwards from the jugular cavity. The second in the center of the back. And the third is attached to the client's side, repeating the side seam of the product. Be careful while using the measuring tape and don't put your finger under it. An important remark: the bride must wear the same shoes that she plans to wear on the day of celebration. Please note that if the design of the dress allows to use the hoops, then all length measurements are taken with hoops on. Of the bust circumference. The tape runs horizontally over the bust and closes on the right side of the bust. Bust circumference. The tape runs horizontally around the body across the protruding points of the mammary glands and closes on the right side of the bust. Under bust circumference. The tape runs horizontally around the body under the bust and closes on the right side of the bust. Waist circumference. The tape runs horizontally around the waist at the level of the narrowest part of the waist. Hip circumference along the hip bones. The tape runs horizontally around the body along the protruding points of the hip bones and closes on the right side of the hips. Hip circumference. The tape runs horizontally around the body across the most prominent part of the buttocks and closes on the right side of the hips. Hip circumference under buttocks. The tape runs horizontally around the body under the buttocks and closes on the right side of the hips. 1/2 back width along the bust line. The tape runs horizontally along the bust line from the center back seam to the side seam. 1/2 back width along the circumference line under the bust. The tape runs horizontally along the circumference line under the bust from the center back seam to the side seam. 1/2 back width along the waistline. The tape runs horizontally along the waistline from the center back seam to the side seam. 1/2 back hip width at the level of the hip bones. The tape runs horizontally along the line of the protruding hip bones from the center back seam to the side seam. 1/2 back hip width. The tape runs horizontally along the hip line from the center back seam to the side seam. 1/2 back hip width under the buttocks. The tape runs horizontally along the circumference line under the buttocks from the center back seam to the side seam. Height from waist to the prominent point of the hip bone. The tape runs vertically from the waistline on the side to the hip line along the protruding hip bones. Hip height. The tape runs vertically from the waistline on the side to the most prominent points of the hips. Height under buttocks folds. The tape runs vertically from the waistline on the side to the circumference line under the buttocks. Length from waist to a point under bust. The tape runs vertically from the waist to a point under the bust, bra under vise. Side waist height. The tape runs vertically from the top edge of the ruler applied to the armpit horizontally to the floor to the waistline. Make sure that the customer's shoulder does not rise when taking this measurement. Back width. The tape runs horizontally along the back between the angles of the armpits. Over bust width. The tape runs horizontally between the interior angles of the armpits over the base of the mammary glands. Bust width. The tape runs horizontally between the interior angles of the armpits at the level of the mammary glands protruding points. Back length to the waist 1. The tape runs vertically from the 7th cervical vertebra to the waistline along the spine. Back waist length. The tape runs vertically along the back from the waistline to the point of the base of the neck. Bust height. The tape runs vertically from the waist across the point of the base of the neck to the center of the bust. Front and back length. The tape runs vertically from the waist in the back across the point of the base of the neck and the center of the bust, flowing it around to the waistline in front. Shoulder height of back. The tape runs obliquely from the intersection of the waistline with the spine to the outermost shoulder point. Front shoulder height. The tape runs obliquely from the intersection of the waistline with the spine across the shoulder point to the center of the bust. Bust point to bust point. The tape runs between the protruding bust points. Length from sternal notch up to the waistline. The tape runs vertically in front of the body in the center from the sternal notch up to the waistline. Measurement is taken on the T-shirt or a ruler attached to the chest, taking into account the flowing around the bust. Depth of front corset neckline. The tape runs vertically in the center from the waistline to the desired depth of the corset neckline. Front corset height. The tape runs vertically from the waistline across the center of the bust to the desired corset height. Front neck depth. The tape runs from the waistline to the desired neckline, T-shirt neckline. Measurement is taken on the T-shirt or a ruler attached to the chest, taken into account and flowing around the bust. Back corset height. The tape runs vertically from the waist along the spine to the desired upper edge of the back corset. Back neck depth. The tape runs vertically from the waist along the spine to the desired depth of the back neck. Length to the line of expansion of the skirt at the front. The tape runs vertically from the center of the waist to the desired start of the front skirt expansion. Length to the line of the expansion of the skirt on the side. The tape runs vertically from the waist to the desired start of the skirt expansion on the side. Length to the line of the expansion of the skirt in the back. The tape runs vertically from the waist across the prominent points of the buttocks to the desired start of the skirt expansion in the back. Skirt length without hoops from the waist. The tape runs vertically in front from the waist to the desired length of the skirt. Measurement is taken wearing heels. Train length from waist. The tape runs in the back vertically following the silhouette of the skirt in the middle of the center seam from the waist to the desired length of the train. Neck circumference. The tape runs across the sternal notch around the base of the neck. Shoulder width. The tape runs from the point of the base of the neck to the outermost shoulder point. Sleeve length. The tape runs from the point of the base of the neck across the outermost shoulder point to the desired length of the sleeve. The elbow must be bent while doing that. Upper arm circumference. The tape runs horizontally around the upper arm at the level of the armpit. Wrist circumference. The line follows the girth of the wrist across the heart rate measurement point. Hand circumference. The line follows the girth around the hand. Congratulations! We are done! With just a little time and patience, with the help of such a number of measurements, your bride will become the owner of the dress she dreamt of, and you will be receiving compliments and gratitude for a long time after the work is done. We wish you success and grateful clients!